Hi, this is Rex Buchheit with the Hamilton City Schools, and today we're going to be looking at analytics that a coach can see, in particular class analytics, class stats. In another video, we'll be looking at individual student stats. Class stats are just all data that you can extrapolate from Khan that are about your particular class that you've designed. I went ahead and clicked on Coach, and I'm already in a class, Mr. Huth's class. And for this talk, it's a fictitious class of 11 students. After I clicked on Coach, this is the screen that came up. This is called the Progress Summary screen. This shows you where students are within each strand of Khan and within each sub-strand of Khan. The page is arranged alphabetically by skill or strand. So it goes from absolute value all the way down to vectors. And you see most of my students aren't in many of the skills yet. But when I look at it, I get some information. For example, number line, there's 3 components to number line, with the number line 3 being the most difficult. In number line 1 and 2, I have 8 students who have mastered that. 3 are going back and reviewing. But in number line 3 is a different story. I have 4 students that are struggling, 2 that have not done it yet, 3 that are in the process of doing it, and 2 that have mastered it. And so what I can do is anywhere on this bar, if I click, it opens up and it shows me where every student in my class falls. I know who's struggling, who hasn't started it, and proficient. So that's pretty powerful. A better way to look at all these strands from absolute value to vector is to look at it for just those categories and subcategories that have someone who's struggling. And all you do is you come up here and you click. And now I have a much more finite group of categories and subcategories. And I can see right away which one of these categories has multiple students struggling. So progress summary is kind of nice. You can see how the students are shaping up in each strand. Progress summary. Now the progress report looks like this when you open it up. And it has all your students listed, and then it has the different substandards and standards that they are working on. And the same coloration goes. Royal blue means they've mastered it. Powder blue, they're working on it. White, in this case, means they haven't started it yet. And red means they're struggling. And you can see students are all over, moving at different paces. If I go up here and I hit struggling, I get a better looking report for my needs. Struggling only highlights those students that are having issues in any strand or substrand. And right away I see the 4 students who are having number line issues. I see the 3 students having addition, subtraction, word problem issues. And I can do an intervention with that. I can ask my intervention teacher to work with that. But I know I can address their needs. When I use the slider bar and I look at a linear approach to it, I can see which students also are having repeated issues. And if I look at these first 2 students, this one's got 4 in a row, and then as I slide, I see they've got quite a bit of red elsewhere. These would be 2 students that I would highly recommend that they watch the Khan instructional video before they start on their work. The Khan video is there, and if a student wants to, they can choose to use it. Our students are opting not to use it. It's a 2 or 3 minute video, very, very good at explaining the skill set for that particular strand or substrand. Students aren't doing it because I think they're too concerned about earning their bonus points. And what we have to do as the tech teachers and lab managers is let them know that they are earning bonus points when they watch a video. And the sooner that they can get 10 in a row right in a strand, the more points that they'll earn. So for these top 2 students with a lot of red, I would almost insist that they watch the video before they start any practice activities. Next category over here is called daily activity. And the daily activity doesn't show me a lot. It shows me the time on task for each student. This was a 10-minute student. This worked 13, 28 minutes, 32 minutes, 15, 13, and 7 minutes. And you see the 7 minutes up here. And it also shows you what skills they're working on. So you can go back and pick any date that they've worked on it. On this particular date, you can go and you can see, but this student right here was not in school. And notice there's a navy blue bar there. That means that she was working outside of school hours. And that's something that we really need to encourage students to do. If we can get them to work on Khan at home or Boys Club or the Y or wherever they have internet access to, we are getting more math time, more math practice time done by the student. And I would encourage you to sell that to the students, and that all their points that they earn outside of class roll over into their in-class points. As a result, there's several students within our district who have 175,000 bonus points. And that's huge. The average student right now has about 40 to 50,000 bonus points, given the fact that they've had about 22 days at this time of the broadcast. But some students are working at their own pace, and they're flying through things and mastering it with 10 in a row right, but they're not being held back to like a lockstep instructional mentality. The progress over time gives you a great snapshot as a teacher as to how are the students progressing over time. So this is about a 22-day snapshot. And my top student here has mastered about 33 skills in 22 days. My least achieving student has achieved about 14 skills in 20 days. But of note, looking even at this top student, notice on this day they mastered 3 skills, and then they went into a lull. They didn't get lazy. They didn't goof off. They were working on completing skills. And some things require more time. Some things are more difficult. The word problems and the multi-digit division and multiplication require more time. So you're going to see these plateaus, and then you're going to see a spurt. With every student. Here's another student. Plateau, spurt. All right? So that's just a natural progression of the Khan Academy. Khan allows you to allow the students to excel and speed in a skill that they're very comfortable with, and then they have more time to spend on skills where they need help. The energy points don't do a lot for me. They just tell me that this particular class has earned a total of 607,000 points. So of these analytics, I think the progress summary gives me a good snapshot of where my students are, what strands they're working on, and who's at risk within each strand. The progress report shows all the successes, all the proficiencies they're working on, And then if I hit struggling, again, I see those students who are at risk. Daily activity just shows me how much time on task each is spending. Progress over time lets me see how are we progressing. Are we making progress? So the next video I want you to watch is individual student data as a coach. So I hope this was informative to you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. If you have any suggestions, feel free to drop me a line. Thank you very much.